Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast, West Denver. Here's a quick message from our sponsor, Local Works Wheat Ridge, provided by its Executive Director, Paige Piper.
Local Works is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to make Wheat Ridge a more vibrant and sustainable place to live and work. Our mission and action is programming that provides neighborhood revitalization and small business support, keeping and growing the businesses we know and love in Wheat Ridge. In simpler form, we provide connection. Connection to business, connection to community.
This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Amber Betts.
Hey there, this is Amber Betts with the Good Neighbor Podcast, West Denver. I am here with Celeste, and we are excited to interview her today. So thanks so much for being here. Tell us a little bit about your business.
Sure. Hi, Amber. It's good to be here. WholeHeartedly Wellbeing is my business. It's my baby. I started it in 2019. It is, I call it a boutique wellness studio in Lakewood. And I offer their Ayurvedic consultations as well as Ayurvedic treatments for the body and the mind. One of my specialties also is craniosacral therapy, and I do skincare as well, and massage therapy and meditation.
Lovely. So tell us about how you got into the business.
Sure. So I think it goes together with my own healing journey, how this whole thing started. But the business itself, like I said, I started in 2019, but really my journey into the wellness industry started in 2011. And so I was back in South Florida, darkest time of my life. And I decided to make a full-on change. And one of those changes was leaving the job that I had, that I was making really good money, but it was eating my soul. And kind of like jumping into this thing that I had been wanting to do for a long time, which was skincare and massage therapy. And just, starting to go with the flow there. And so I did that. And I worked in South Florida for a bit. My first job was at an Ayurvedic center, and that's how I fell in love with Ayurveda. And so when I moved to Colorado, after a couple of years here, not a couple, like 4 or 5 years, really, I just, I had this yearning for providing body work the way that I like to do it, which is very guest-centered and not so much about, okay, we're done with your treatment, get up, get dressed, and goodbye. Like, I don't work like that. I don't like it. I actually believe that a big part of any type of body work or wellness treatment is, to have those like 5 or 10 minutes afterwards, you just lay there and integrate what just happened, because it's not just the physical healing that happens. There's emotional, there's mental, spiritual, all of these things is very holistic, right? The way that I work. And so to have someone go through an experience like that and then be like, okay, let's go. That is something that it always it felt icky for me. And so I wanted to do it that way. I wanted to have that time for my clients to just be and not have to do anything and not have to think, oh, I have to get up because there's someone else coming right after, And I think that was like the main thing that led me to, okay, I just want to open my own thing and work on my own and do it the way that I want to do it.
Lovely. And for those listeners that don't know what Ayurveda is, tell us a little bit, like real quick synopsis. I know a little bit about it myself, but
yeah, totally. So Ayurveda is a healing system from India, and it has been around for over 5,000 years. And the idea is that we all carry the universe within ourselves. Every cell in our body is a universe in itself. And so we want to be in tune with the universe around us.
Mm-hmm.
And, the way we live our life right now, that's kind of hard.
Yeah.
We lose touch with nature. We lose touch with our true selves. And from that, imbalances happen. And these imbalances initially are super subtle.
Mm-hmm.
These are not things that you can go to a doctor and they're going to give you a diagnosis, because
Mm-hmm.
they are in the subtle body, right? And so Ayurveda is able to find those subtle imbalances and catch them. And then we can, as an Ayurvedic practitioner and consultant, I can tell people, okay, these are the changes that you can, bring into your life so that this subtle imbalance can just get back into center. And usually what happens is that people, this is the perfect example of this, is someone that feels off. There's something weird, and I know that a lot of people has gone through this. There's something weird going on in my body. Maybe it's the digestion, maybe it's whatever it is. And they go to the doctor, and the doctor is like, everything's fine.
Mm.
All the tests are normal. And you're like, but I don't feel okay.
Mm.
So that's when Ayurveda comes in. And really what happens is, my experience, my personal experience, and my clients' experiences is that they make these changes and they are able to, more times than not, I mean, the body, and their mind, it doesn't go into disease because we stop it. We found it before it actually creates very gross symptoms, right?
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense. There's
Yeah, it
so
does.
much more. I just try to make it really, really simple. I can talk about it for hours.
Perfect. That's a good overview. So, and you talked about, a dark period in your life, but, how does that, a hardship or challenge, like, how does that, translate into your business, or how did you rise above that?
So, yeah, I honestly think that the reason why I'm into this field is because of my life experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So before I entered this industry, I was in a really bad relationship. It was abusive, verbally and emotionally. I was a very self-destructive person. My partner was also self-destructive. A lot of addiction, drugs, things like that. And I couldn't see a way out, really, because all of that together, and also being in a country where it was just me and my ex-husband. So I was alone. And I needed to make this huge change. And one of the things that I did is I got clean. And when I got clean, my partner didn't want to go through that with me. And one of the things that I did within 2 weeks of getting clean is I was like, okay, I'm doing this thing and it's really hard. And suddenly I have this community. I got clean with a community. And I have this community that is supporting me, and they don't know me, but they love me. It was really weird. And they're like just pushing me like, yes, you can do this. So I ended up applying for massage therapy school. And that's where my journey began. So my recovery goes together with the beginning of my life, really, and my life in the healing and wellness industry. And that's how it all started for me. And going through that and being able to, get through to the other side, using what I give to people now, I know it works.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. And why do your clients or your patients, why do they choose you over somebody else?
I think that goes back to what we talked about in the beginning of I'm super guest centered. And so I want to give my people an experience. Like, I want them to come into my space to feel cared for and safe and loved as just a human being, right? And to know that we're not in a rush, you know, you don't have to leave super fast. Like, you can take your time here. It's a safe space. Usually, sometimes people do have something is called somato-emotional releases. And they tell me, I don't know why, but like, I come here and I can just let it all out and I feel safe. I think that's what brings, you know, people to me. And I think it's also this sense of, I've been in the darkness. And so I can be present for other people when they are in the darkness.
Yeah. Amazing. So tell us any news, specials, updates, anything kind of current going on with the business?
Sure. I wrote it down because it's just easier for me to read these things when I have to talk about, you know, the parts of my business, like why and this, and it's all like, oh yes, dreams and purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's like, oh, news, I'm like, okay, let me just read this because
Sure.
it's more.
Okay.
So I have a pumpkin spice facial because I also do skincare.
Lovely.
And I love it. It's one of my loves. A pumpkin spice facial, which is going to involve like a superficial pumpkin enzyme peel, which is really good now for the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be available starting in mid-October, more or less. It's really great to uncover luminosity and to reduce the hyperpigmentation and the appearance of fine lines. Mm-hmm. So love it. I'm going to get it myself.
Sounds nice.
And then something that I'm super excited about, it's another baby of mine. I've been curating a mala making, mala making and meditation online course. I've been doing this. I've been curating it for 3 years. I've been meditating for 12. And I just have this calling to, you know, put it out for people. Everyone, there's a lot of misconceptions about meditation, and so in this online course, I'm going through all these myths, and I just wanna make it available for people to know that it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to practice. That's it.
Sure.
That's gonna be coming up at the end of October as well.
Lovely. So, what do you do outside of work? What do you do for fun?
I have a little bit of a zoo.
Oh, animals.
Yes, I have 4 cats and a dog, really 2 dogs. And I just spend a lot of time with them. I love to take my Finley, my dog, out for walks. When I'm able to, I go ride horses. Another one of my passions. I used to be a show jumper when I was young back in Argentina. So love that. Yes. And then hanging out with my partner also. Very chill stuff. Just being in my backyard, listening to the birds. I don't know. I'm just, you know, being.
Yep.
Being and relaxing.
Okay. So tell the listeners how they can reach you. What's the best way to contact you, learn more, etc.
Sure. So best way to contact me would be through either email or phone. The email would be WholeHeartedlyWellbeing@gmail.com. The phone number 720-205-5394. You can call or text there. I do have a website, WholeHeartedlyWellbeing.com, and there you can see, you know, you can have a little bit of a peek onto the services that I offer. There's a little bit of a bio and, you know, and then I do have an Instagram, and over there I have a ton of information about all of the things. So yeah, that's how to get in touch with me.
Perfect. All right, dear. Well, it was really interesting getting to know you a little bit. Thanks for being on the podcast, Celeste. Yeah, we'll post this up and we'll be in touch. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Amber. Have a beautiful day.
You too.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpwestdenver.com. That's gnpwestdenver.com or call 720-295-9588.